Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a part 2 of the first 3 stories from the Bible. If you want another one, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3 stories from the Bible that I think really reflect the grace and love of God. The first story is Daniel in the lion's den from Daniel 6. In this, we have Daniel, who is a faithful servant of God, and he's risen to a high position in the kingdom of Persia under King Darius. The other officials become jealous of Daniel and they plot against him. They persuade the king Darius to pass a decree for anybody who prays is going to be thrown into the lion's den. Anyone who prays to anyone other than the king will be thrown in the lion's den. They do this because they know that Daniel prays multiple times a day. So, Daniel, despite this law, continues to pray 3 times a day. And the officials catch him, and they say, "Oh, Darius, this man has been praying." And King Darius doesn't want to, because he respects Daniel, but he has no choice but to honor his decree, so he's thrown into the lion den. All night, Darius, he's worried, he's nervous for Daniel. So as soon as morning comes, he goes over to the lion's den to check on him. He sees that Daniel is okay, and Daniel tells him that an angel came from God and has shut the lion's mouth so that he's safe. Darius is overjoyed. He throws the people who plotted against Daniel into the lion's den where they're killed immediately, and he proclaims that Daniel's God, is the true living God. This story helps illustrate the faith that we have in God. Despite oppression and dire situations and other dangers that we may face, God is always with us, and we should always rely on Him, no matter what we come across in life. The second story is the story of the Good Samaritan, found in Luke chapter 10, verse 30. Jesus tells the story of a man who was brutally beaten by robbers and left half dead, lying on the street. A priest finds the body, but he doesn't do anything to help the man. A Levite, another religious leader, comes across the body but doesn't do anything to help the man. He just walks on by. Finally, a Samaritan passed by. Despite Jews and Samaritans typically not getting along, the Samaritan helps the man. He puts oil and wine on his wounds and he bandages him up. He puts the man on his donkey and he brings him back to an inn where he's taken care of. This story tells us that we should love and care for our neighbors and help them in times of need. Despite the religious or any other differences that we may have, we should always help them. For example, Samaritans and Jews didn't get along at all, but the Samaritan helped the man despite their differences. The third story is of Jesus calming the storm in Mark chapter 4, verse 35 to 41. In the story, Jesus and his disciples are on a boat. Jesus is resting, then suddenly waves broke out over the boat until the boat was nearly sank. His disciples woke him up and said, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus got up and said, "Quiet, be still." Then everything was calm. Jesus asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and said, "Who is this? Even the winds obey him?" This story demonstrates the power of God, and even in situations like this, there's no need to be afraid when we have Jesus on our side. No matter what, Jesus can help us. He's in control of nature and everything else. So we should always put our trust and faith in Jesus because He is there for us and He always will help us in times of need. So, those are the 3 stories from the Bible that I wanted to share with you. If you enjoyed this, please share this with someone else so that they can be blessed as well. And remember, God is good all the time.